The Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening. On tonight's agenda, first of all, a few announcements. They will be having the cleanup day on Saturday, and that will be held starting down at the park on Temple Road. Still that they have the adult athletic activities at Boynton and Highbridge Elementary on Sunday evenings. One other notice just to keep the public informed is we received from DOT areas where they will be doing shimming and paver shims in town. One is going to be on Ashburnham Road from the Mass Line to Ashby Road. They're also going to be doing Smithville Road from Page Hill, Collins Road area out to Ashby Road. Lastly, they'll be doing a section on Route 45 from Temple over to Greenville. So part of that is in New Ipswich. They'll also be doing a shim and pave on Turnpike Road from the market area up to Dock Lane. So everybody should be up on what's going on on that. We will also be going into a non-public later this evening. So, Mr. Mackey.
Yes.
Glad to see you here. What can we do for you?
Well, I have two questions.
Sure.
First one is, I'll show you on the map here a little
Okay.
bit better. Map 6 right here.
Should we grab the tax map? Would that be easier to see? It's larger.
Yeah, bigger's better.
Map 6.
Map 6.
Thank you.
Okay. What do we got?
Boynton Hill in Appleton.
Yeah, I'm over here.
Okay.
So, lot 14, right here.
Okay,
I own that.
Let me just see.
that's
how
off
we're gonna
Old
get
Peterborough
there.
Road.
Well, this is Old Peterborough Road,
Yeah,
and this is Chapman Road.
yeah,
And so from here to here is about 1,000 feet.
okay.
Mhm.
So I got a guy who's interested in buying this and putting one house on it off the grid.
Yeah.
What do we need to do for access? Now, this is all in here, miserable, washed out, you can hardly walk through.
It's class 6.
Right. This is pretty reasonable. But it, you know,
Is it also class 6? Yeah.
this is all class 6 from here to the old Ridge Road, right this corner right here.
Okay, but his access to get there would have to be one of those 2 points.
Right, and it really have to be this one to be anything reasonable.
Is this not?
Well, this road's good,
Yeah, I
but
thought
this is awful.
Oh, okay.
It's just washed, I mean, you
Is it passable or is it just,
you can't drive on
it's
that.
Where's the shop? Let me just see. When you come up,
This is the
this
shop.
shop left. Okay.
Right, yeah.
Is this Mr. Glavy's? I think. Is
I
this
think-
one that has a house right here?
Well, there's a house over here, Reed Salo.
That's a new one. I'm talking an old.
Oh, yeah, Jeff Gray's, I think it's more here.
Okay. Yeah, I know where you are now.
Yeah, that's Glavy's now, I guess. But this is all sloped down and it's pretty tough.
So he would have to come in this
Yeah.
way, and, if it's one house, you know, as far as class 6 roads, they're not town maintained.
Right.
Right.
So he would need to do whatever he needs to, but he has to just get the board's permission to do it. That's all.
Okay,
It's a
so-
matter of asking the board, I wanna work on this class 6 road, and
There's no requirements as far as
there's only 2 things.
gravel or,
No,
No.
nope, that's
it's
up
all
to
his
them.
business?
All his business,
Perfect.
yep. And then he would have to sign, there's a waiver that they understand that school buses don't go there, police and fire may not be able to get access, and
Okay.
it's a standard form
Yep.
if you build on a class 6 road.
So it's doable?
It's doable, as long as it's one house, as long as it's not a subdivision,
No, it's not a
Yes.
subdivision,
Yep.
it's a lot of record.
they can do that.
And there may or may not be any fire ponds in that area.
But that's,
Yeah, this pond here, I guess, is drained now, I was surprised. The dam,
which one is that the one at the front?
this is the
Yeah,
Wildcat
sure.
Reservation, you know, Wildcat.
Yeah, I thought they had a dam there.
They did, but I
Okay.
guess, the state came in and said the pipe was all rotted and they had to fix it, and so there's no water.
Is that the one that they opted not to do it and they took out the dam?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't
I'm
been
not
over
sure.
there in years.
Yeah,
So now Chapman Road is also class, or is?
that's
is
a
that
class
town road?
6, no,
That
it's not,
is?
yeah, it's not a town maintained road.
So now, are there any permissions needed from abutters or anything, or you just use it?
Good question,
Well, if it's a class 6 road, you have the right to pass and repass.
that's true,
So you do
Should
not
be okay.
need
Yeah.
permission.
yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if they have, any type of, let's call it a, for no better terminology, a homeowners association where they say, hey, you know, we're plowing this and whatnot, everybody divvies up.
Okay,
They may have something like that, but
Yeah.
I'm not aware of it.
yeah. Well, that would be a private deal anyways.
Yes, yep,
So,
Yeah.
I don't know if that would affect him at all, or if you should contact them.
Oh,
or-
yeah, I
Just
think
be
it
a
would
good
be
neighbor.
the, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It'd be the polite thing to do,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
but-
I think that answers that.
Yeah. What was that, 60 acres?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're buying these 2 pieces off the Coivola farm, and that's about the same size. This is my house, right, and that's not my house.
Okay.
Yeah. But,
These two.
and then Andy Crook is buying this piece here.
So this then will be, are you gonna merge that with yours, or you gonna just leave them as
Well, I'll
separate
just leave
lots?
it, yeah.
Okay, yeah,
So that's all steep slope.
so you're gonna get this,
Yeah.
and then you'll sell, which one is
So
it, this one?
Yeah,
This one?
so
Yeah.
it becomes swap.
And somebody's buying this one, you said?
Yeah, Andy Crook is buying that off the Coivolas.
Okay.
These 2 pieces are left. Chad Rodiola bought that. Somebody whose name I can't remember bought that.
Yeah, we were, when Eversource was here, they told us that sale was in process or something. They were trying to get permission to go through there to replace the transmission poles. And
Yeah,
they says,
yeah.
you know, the owner doesn't wanna give permission because sale is pending or something, so.
I don't think we can stop them from going in there on the right of way.
That's what it was, they needed. Maybe their equipment couldn't fit, cause their right of way, is it after you crest the hill and come
Mhm.
down? I
Yeah.
guess it,
Both sides.
yeah, they were trying to go in this direction.
Yeah.
And I think they were talking about taking out the stone wall, and we said we prefer not to do that.
Unless they were trying, because the field ends down here, maybe they were trying to go around the field, and that would be out of their right of way, because there was a road kind of.
Yeah,
cut.
that comes
That's
this
probably
way.
what it is, yeah.
And, yeah, they were gonna work
Okay. My next question, Mackey Road.
Yep.
So the road agent informed us last fall that that was gonna be repaved, and then, he was told me the selectmen decided not to repave it.
Because it was, the selectmen never had Mackey Road on the list to be repaved.
Oh,
Okay, and I don't know if you follow along, but when the goal has always been, we do connector roads first with the priorities. In other words, a road that, for example, Ashby Road,
Mhm.
okay, the road goes through, other roads feed to it that are, let's call them minor roads.
mhm,
But if they're through roads, those were the ones that we focused on, that and
Mhm.
some of the gravel roads. So to get to Mackey Road, which is one house, two houses, that
soon
is
to be
going,
3.
that's gonna be tail end. of
So it's
the
gonna be
whole
done
road.
at some point?
Well, the whole goal is that eventually we get all the roads paved,
Yeah.
and every year we vote for the warrant articles, that's everybody's
Right, yeah.
been voting, and that's what we've been trying to do.
Mhm.
Like this year, what the board had decided was going to be finish timber top, because there's a section that we didn't top coat
Mhm.
or do at the very end where Hughes Road is. Appleton Road.
Mm.
I'm trying to find, what was the other one? There's a section on Ashby Road that hasn't been done. And then Ken and Gibbs. Those were the two dirt roads that we said we're trying to get them
Oh, you're
paved.
gonna get those?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, those are pretty tough.
And those people, I found out, I don't know if it was back in the early 90s or something, they were hit with a betterment assessment by the town to pave the roads. And it never got done.
So I don't know if this makes any difference or not, if you've got this set in stone, but that Mackey Road is, I don't know if you've been down it at all, but it's in pretty tough shape. There's potholes where the culvert goes, where my brook comes out and the Quavel is. A third of that is all washed out down the dirt, so it's gonna need some repairs. And if it's not resurfaced, it's still gonna be rough. And the problem is, and I don't mind driving over it that much, but when they come through in the spring, plow the roads, it trashes it every year. And I've got, almost a snowbank like full of tar up near the farm, just because of that. And so, my thought would be, or my argument would be, that it's cheaper to pave it now than later, because they're gonna be there, and it's gonna save some repair work that needs to be done almost yearly because of the snow plowing. So,
But I hope you understand,
there's only so much money I can go around.
that's only one,
Yeah.
but we have roads that are much worse than Mackey Road,
Mhm.
with a lot more residents on them.
Yeah,
So we kind of try and set the priority.
yeah.
And that's why the main through roads, I would say, other than that section on Ashby Road, I think we've got them all. And that's why now we're going to the smaller through roads.
Mhm.
Appleton Road, for example, is one that we said, well, that's a main through road when you think of the length of it, but it goes to
There's so much
Boynton.
more
But
traffic on that road than I thought there should be.
and as they develop out on Boynton Hill, it just,
Yeah.
it will keep going. But
What I'd like to see is the road being so rough that it stops the traffic from going up there, but it doesn't. People are going up there all the time anyways.
And we keep sending the grader to grade it off.
No, I mean on Mackey Road.
Oh, on Mackey Road?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah, they come up there looking for deer, they're shining their lights, they turn around in my yard. When my mother was living there, they come up and shine the lights right in her windows. She had a mobile home up there. Oh, it's
Yeah,
just, it's
yeah.
terrible.
Yeah.
People are so inconsiderate.
Yeah, I wouldn't think you'd get.
Yeah, you wouldn't think so.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
we do.
Yeah.
'cause there's fields there's deer out there.
Is there a sign there that says dead end?
Yeah. People don't.
I guess not.
Exactly. They look at it and say, oh yeah, well, we're gonna have to turn around when we get there.
Yeah.
So, then they'll drive, once in a while, they'll drive in the field. Imagine that.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
So can you imagine the traffic it had if we paved it?
I don't think it makes any difference.
No,
The
it wouldn't.
people that are going up there look for those kind of roads,
Yeah.
you know?
Now, do you have it posted no hunting?
No. No ATVs.
No, wait.
That's been the bane of my existence
Yeah.
since they invented them.
I'm thinking
But-
that, like you're saying, if they,
No, I allow hunting, I
Yeah,
allow
yeah,
hiking, you know,
yeah.
it's,
yeah,
I think people ought to be able to share with it for, you know,
Yeah.
share it, but, ATVs were just a whole different ballgame. They would come, well, they would think that the power line was there right away, so I had to straighten them out about that, but that wasn't the big thing, they were in my logging roads, they were in my fields, in my
Really?
gravel pit, they go racing down my driveway. I got grandchildren, dogs,
yeah.
they don't care.
Wow.
Now I gotta put gates up to stop them, you know,
No respect.
no. But anyways, thank you
All
for
right.
your time.
Very good.
All
Thank
right.
you for coming in. Well, with Colada having been out this week, I really don't have much of an update on many of the things we went through last week. I do have scheduled a call with town council on the Smithville Cemetery
Okay,
for Thursday.
all right.
We're supposed to have met with the assessors
Yeah,
to give direction.
yeah, they were supposed to come in 6:30, I think was the time.
Well, we had asked, but then
Did they say they had?
Jean wasn't gonna be here.
Oh, okay.
But Jim was going to speak with this attorney about it, and I should probably try and follow up with Jim, because they needed the
Thursday.
hearing with the BTLA, scheduled for April 30th.
Yeah, well, got an email with Jim, and he's willing to, you know, because there was a conflict with this meeting, he was willing to talk about changing the times of the assessors, so I could participate. But if you have another body to go in there,
Well, that's what I'm saying. I thought, that's why I was just asking Jessica if she had made any calls, and she said no, not yet.
you know,
So,
all right.
I don't,
We'll leave that.
either way, as, to me, it's not any type of conflict with,
No, it's the meeting time.
yeah.
You know, I just don't wanna be one body.
Was there a lot number that he was looking at? Let me see.
6 other side of the road, 6-16. It was that one right with the stream going, tail ending. He was talking about this one, was he? He was selling that?
60 acres, so that's gonna be 614.
Is that? Oh, that's a 14, sorry.
Yeah, six-
Just read it.
Here he is.
Hi.
Glad you stopped in. Uh,
Are you open yet?
yes, we
We
are.
are.
Did you speak
Are you
with
taking
Mr.
walk-ins?
Bolt?
Huh?
Did you speak with Mr. Bolt? I think that's how you pronounce it. Regarding the hearing? I gave you a copy last week.
I spoke with one of his associates or assistants.
Okay.
The one thing we have to do, the assessors have no problem with his recommendation, but one thing we have to do, and I don't think it's ever been done here, is, and we can't do it, you have to do it. But that is, you have to go through a procedure to amend the poll licenses. You should have received all the details on it. If you want a
From
how-to,
whom?
same law firm.
I don't recall seeing that.
But you're not the one who opens all the mail either.
No, but usually when it's for the selectmen, you
I
know how
I
it is. It goes in
understand.
the,
I
yeah,
understand.
yeah.
I can get you the step by step because I got the same thing where I work.
Okay,
Okay?
yeah.
And the reason for that is that in order to tax or to handle the usage of the town's right-of-ways and to put a value on it, you have to have an amendment to the poll license. So you have to have.
So
a
the
hearing.
amendment to who has the poll license? Is that an agreement between the town and the utility?
Yes, have you ever signed one?
The only thing I remember signing with the utility was permission to install new utility poles.
Okay, yes, and
Yes.
that's a poll license.
Okay,
By law, they belong to the clerk to maintain. So the clerk
Okay.
has the file.
yeah,
If you do a blanket, you don't have to drag out every poll license, okay? You do a blanket, okay? But there's a procedure. I will bring it down.
if you could email it, that'd be great, just so I can read it
I'll-
beforehand.
Well,
I have him do it?
I'll forward what he sent me.
Okay.
Okay? You just gotta take out the word Stoddard and
Yeah,
and
yeah.
put it into a switch. But, so, yeah, that's what we need to do. As soon as reasonably possible.
So is he awaiting a formal response from the town, or is he good to go?
I think he's good to go, but I'll check with him tomorrow.
Okay, if he needs something, just let me know and I'll,
Okay. Yeah. Actually, one of the things we should someday sit down and figure out, and this has nothing to do with power or anything else, it has to do with just getting it right. Where the Board of Assessors drop off, where you kick in, because right now we sign warrants, tax warrant. Okay, so what do? You set the tax rate, we have the assessments. And I've always scratched my head with, why are we signing the warrant? I have to go back and look at the statutes.
why am I thinking that we've signed those in the past, the Board of Selectmen,
No,
to her?
the property tax warrants.
Oh, okay. Is that different than,
That's different than the warrant for a meeting, yeah, okay. Timber tax warrants, we sign them. That I can I can kind of understand that because you're not involved in the setting of a tax rate. So maybe we are okay. But I know one thing, when property goes to be deeded, the board or entity that sets the assessment is the only one that can abate it. That's the rule.
can
okay?
abate?
Can abate,
Right.
okay? But what about abating interest after it's gone to lien?
I didn't think the assessors can abate fees or penalties. I thought you can only abate the value of the property or structure or whatever.
That's where I'm going, okay? I can see us signing the warrant, okay? If you could flip a coin on that one, I think, on a property tax warrant. We also sign timber tax warrants and gravel tax warrants. And I can make sense out of that, because those are fixed amounts. The amount that's assessed goes into a spreadsheet, and bingo, out it goes. I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel either, I'm
Just don't confuse it.
Hmm?
Just don't confuse it.
No, but like, what I'm getting at is like, on this thing here, I definitely think the selectmen should be involved, because they look at the fiscal planning of the town, okay? And the loss of some tax revenue or changes of it certainly impacts what you all do. But at the same time, we're the only ones that can change the value. So we really have to come together at that. From practical point of view. Now that you've gotten me past that, can I change the subject?
Sure. When are we gonna get a,
A letter.
no, a layman's explanation of what's going on with that?
We'll get one. I'll get you one. Okay. I want to thank you for doing, having the highway department do a wonderful job installing a culvert replacement on Wilson Hill Road. I liken it to my knee replacement. I had two totally bad knees. They both needed replacement. We did one, okay?
Where's this going, Jim?
There's a culvert that's just as bad or worse on the same road, and I don't think the highway department knows where it is. This is a short road, okay? The culvert is between myself and Eric Crook, far closer to my driveway than his. And what's happening on that road is we get lots of attention. Oh, it's constantly being graded and worked on.
Yeah,
I'm
we
not
should
so
stop
sure-
that, huh?
I really would like you to stop some of it. I mean, because what's happening is the road is getting higher and higher. It looks like we got a flood control dam. Okay, I'm being a little bit sarcastic and exaggerating, but what I got is this, between Eric and I, what we have is a small lake in the woods, okay? I can go to this culvert, and I can see where water goes in, and I can't see it flowing, but I can see it coming out the other side. And what we've got is stagnant water ponding all over the place. So the drainage on that road is absolutely horrible. Now, he fixed one culvert, that's nice, but that wasn't making the biggest mess.
So did you talk to him?
Oh, I haven't had a chance. I mean, I did mention I think I mentioned when I went by one time, he got another one there, where, you know.
You know, I think, on one of the
I don't wanna
days
say
they
anything,
get
I'm not saying
around.
anything bad about the highway.
No, just tell them, hey, look, you guys did a great job, just in case you don't know, there's a,
Well, I thought I could mention it tonight and it might get passed on.
well, if I knew where it was, because you were just saying that they don't know where it is, but you did.
20 feet to the right of my driveway. You can't miss it if you go there.
As I'm facing your driveway or looking
About 20,
towards the
20
road?
No, if you're facing the driveway,
Yep,
you go about 20 or 30 feet to the right, you'll see a scoop out on the uphill side. The pitch isn't terribly great. And then if you walk across the road, you'll see water trickling out. There's a lot of water in the woods there. And what's holding it back is the road. The road keeps getting built up. And then when they grade it, they put a large windrow down the side of it which holds the water in. So the road gets graded nice, but then we wind up with a windrow down the side. You get heavy rains, the water doesn't necessarily get out.
Can't be that much water, right?
Hmm?
Is there that much water that comes out of the other pipe, the one that you say is 20 feet?
I mean, there's a visible flow coming out of it, but not a heck of a lot. It's trickling out. And if the inlet, I don't know if it's a question of blowing this thing open. This could be an old stone box culvert from 150 years ago. That is one of the oldest roads in town. It was a piece of something else. So, I mean, I don't know what's under there, but you know, with all the gravel that's gotten thrown on this thing, okay, this thing is pretty well plugged up, whatever it is. But it does flow through, and you know, I got a lake here and I got a lot of water over here. Now, a little further down is another culvert that was put in when my driveway was put in, and it shoots across. But it can't take the load from the other one, because the other one's down lower. Then there's a downhill, and then it comes up just a half. Well, it would be good to fix it.
Okay,
And then
time's up.
My last
Wait a
item-
minute.
My last item, okay,
I'm just getting to your culvert now.
okay. How do I put it? This is a beautiful town.
It is.
Many people work very hard to make it a beautiful town. But there are some things that if you drive on certain paths, you really wonder what's going on, okay? And so I got a form given to me called a nuisance form. You familiar with the nuisance form? You
No.
can fill one out and put my name on it, call me the nuisance, I know that, okay.
Are you talking about a town ordinance?
I guess what I'm getting at is, aside from the fact that some people are pigs and they throw their trash out the car windows, that's a whole nother thing. But I guess I wonder, if I come up Fox Farm Road, you familiar with Fox Farm Road? You know where Tom Estes used to live?
Mm-hmm.
Across from where Bob Kincaid used to live. I'm dating myself.
That I don't know. But I knew
There's more riding tractors and mowers there than any tractor supply store in New Hampshire. Not to mention more pickup trucks and vehicles for sale in Milford on 101A on the west side of town. Is there a special exception to run a business there?
Is he running a business, or is he just been collecting?
It's a good question. When does a collection become?
Well, I mean,
when there's any unregistered, 2 or more unregistered vehicles, becomes a junkyard.
Yeah, that's a junkyard, okay. I guess the question is, somebody should knock on the door and say, have you got a collection here? Now, if I decide that I'm gonna dabble in a few things, it's not a home, I have a hobby where I buy and sell things. That hobby can become a business, okay? There's a point, there's a crossover, and common sense says when you got a field full of these things, you've crossed over the line. It's not a home business, okay?
Is this the same property? This isn't the same property you talked to me about last time, is it?
Yes,
Because we did get a response from them.
did you?
Yeah,
What was
we
it?
did. I know we did. I don't remember what it was. I'd have to go back and look.
Okay.
But we did send them a letter. More because of the junkyard statute, not anything else. Because of the unregistered vehicles.
Yeah, I mean, I don't wanna say it looks like a junkyard. Everything's lined up nice and neat. I don't go staring into people's property, I just drive by and look at this and say, this is kinda significant.
But we have a licensed junkyard and they line their cars up nice and neat.
Well, these are lined up nice, much
I
nicer.
mean, is there buying and selling going on?
Well, they're certainly buying.
Okay, well, that's a start.
Yeah, that's
I
not,
got too many toy trains in my basement too, but I mean, I don't have them all, I don't have,
They're
you
not on
know,
display.
full-size stuff laying in the yard. And the other question I have is, across from the fire station,
yeah,
aside from our place, the one next to it, does that have a special exception for commercial use?
they have a, application into the ZBA for developing that property. Put a building there.
No, I'm not talking about where they clip
I know
trees.
exactly where you're
I'm
talking.
talking where
I-
they got the storage containers.
Correct. They're looking to put up a new building there.
Oh, okay, so that, they're looking to develop that.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I can bring that answer back to the people that ask. People ask me these things.
Hey, as soon as
I
I
go
saw it, I
around-
made a call to
I
them.
go around oblivious to stuff, okay?
Yeah, because I know people were saying, hey, that's not permitted there, yeah.
No.
Matter
That
of fact, they
is-
submitted,
That could be a prime business location,
yeah, yeah.
okay? And I have no problem with somebody using it as that,
Mhm.
okay? But right now, it looks almost as bad as our property. I mean, we should do something there someday.
I was remiss in not getting the warrant article placed on this year's warrant.
To do what?
Something. Give the selectmen the authority. We had the, as you're aware, we previously had the authority to sell or dispose of that
Mm-hmm.
property. And then that got rescinded.
I mean, the biggest purpose for that place right now is a sandbox.
Which we're in the process of relocating, planning to relocate that to this area.
Okay.
But that's gonna be a sequential.
I mean, as far as I know, contamination out there, the biggest thing is probably a lot of salt in the ground.
I'm more concerned of prior, well, I shouldn't say prior to the
The New
town.
Ipswich Electric Light
Yes,
Company.
yes, that's what I'd be more concerned with.
PCBs?
Whatever, I'm assuming they had transformers and whatnot there,
They
and,
were lucky they didn't
yeah.
electrocute themselves. But, okay, no, I was just curious about that, okay. So they have an application before the
Yeah,
ZBA.
that got presented,
What are they looking
on
to put
April
there?
first. A, commercial building similar to what, the ABC Center,
Oh, okay, something like that.
similar to that,
Yeah,
on a smaller scale. I think it would be their business plus a couple of rental units.
okay, so basically office space for businesses and,
With, the typical
Yeah.
office in the front, warehouse in the back.
yeah.
Well, that appeared to be what was on their plan. They,
Well, the ABC Center's been there a long time.
and, True Farm built a similar thing across the street from there. So,
That's good. No, I'm glad to see that. I'm glad to see something happen
yeah,
with it.
cleaned
but
it up. It's
it
one of the
looks-
first things you see when you come into town, and it's like, boy,
What
it
is,
would
you're
be
like,
nice.
what is this mess?
Yeah, yeah.
Anything going, what's going up here? Or is
3
there
houses.
3 houses, 1 driveway.
Yes, shared driveway.
That makes sense on a state road.
Well, they got wetlands on the other middle and side,
Yeah.
so,
Should be 3 houses up there,
Yeah.
so.
and all set back.
The setback, there'll be setback 2 ways, but their property goes all the way out that highway. I take it, does it?
Yes, to Turnpike Road, you mean?
So basically, once we get down below the Dollar General, is it?
Yeah.
Once we get down below there, there's gonna be no more commercial on that side, at least for foreseeable future, there's 3 houses there.
On that lot, there could be.
Yeah, on that one, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Good. for a meeting, nobody else is.
I thought your other board member was on vacation away this week.
You know what? You were right. I told somebody else I'd be here anyway. It's next week we have the extra meeting.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what I'll do is, I'll get you the information on the poll license.
Yeah.
That's
And
all.
also just check with him to see if he needs anything from us
Yeah.
on that decision.
And you have Peter give me a call. If he wants.
Oh, I'll just talk to him.
Yeah,
that's-
I mean,
that's fine.
I'll go out there with him and show
Yeah.
him, because, there's something going through there, there's something under the ground that goes through, okay? That's an old road, that thing could be, Lord knows how old.
But if it goes from one side of the road and you can't see where it comes out on the other
Oh, you
side,
can. I know where the in is and I know where the out is,
Oh.
and I see water coming
Yeah.
out the out. Unfortunately, not enough water. Most of the time, lately, more goes to the inlet side than
Yeah.
goes the outside. And so the lake.
but their focus right now is on getting the culverts replaced where the roads will be rebuilt this year. That's what they're focusing on.
I see, I have no idea where somebody goes digging around the ends of these things, you might find that a high pressure blast of water and you clean up the
Yeah.
ends may be all you need. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. And they do that.
Oh, I know. Okay.
We have quite a few of those in town that need that.
Do we,
Tenney Road for one,
do we have,
Old Tenney Road.
do we have a culvert inventory?
I think
Yes,
there is one.
it's-
Conservation has it.
I wasn't thinking that. Southwest Regional Planning is developing it. They're
Yeah.
developing it, yeah.
Yes, I've been working on where I work, and the thing is, you'll never find it. There's gonna be some that, oh, there's a culvert here? I thought that was a lake. You know?
But Peter knows where they
Oh, I
are,
know.
and he's been marking them even for the new ones that we've been putting in. So.
Yeah. But I
Now,
mean,
Jim, I'm gonna apologize, cause
I
I
gotta
think
go.
I missed something here.
what?
One was, we discussed about the utility, one was about the culvert. What was the third item you mentioned?
Tractor farms.
No, yeah.
For what?
Your tractor farm.
Yeah, I guess it's not just that, it's that there are a lot of places where there are 2 or more unregistered vehicles stashed in the woods. And I don't wanna be a person who says, the guy's got 2 cars, okay, and he's got them tucked away in the back somewhere. That's not it, but when we start tossing them all over the woods, I mean, you know, so. And I will talk to Gene about over a meeting. I think it would be good.
Okay.
We could move our meeting time
Well,
or date or something, or actually, we keep it on the same.
yeah, I mean, that'd be fine too. It's just a matter of, I just don't wanna be a warm body. I'd rather participate.
But just
Well, I wouldn't
remember,
want you to
Bert,
be
one
the-
thing is
I wouldn't
that,
want you to be the warm body, I'd want you to participate. Even if it was with the idea that if we got somebody else suitable, then you would drop out and that person would join. But we don't want somebody we have to prop up. Okay, we want somebody live and, and moving around doing things. So. Well, gentlemen, I thank you.
thank you,
It's a quiet night.
it is.
You should go to a Maytown meeting. You
A
never have to worry
Maytown
about
meeting?
snow delays,
No,
and you don't need to maintain nearly as big a fund balance. Because you're taking in money before you start spending it. You're taking in the first issue of taxes the end of May and all through June. And you don't start spending it until July 1.
all right, let's move on.
See ya.
Thank you.
When are we gonna get the results of the survey?
We have that, and Debbie's compiled it,
Oh, okay,
and I think next week will be,
you'll announce it next week?
well, the board will look at them,
Well,
just
yeah,
to see
well-
where they've been, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just for-
And to my amazement, we got a lot of I was expecting
10%, 15%?
10 or 20 to come, but picture we had a stack, which was good.
Putting the stamp on the reply helps.
Yeah.
And having it, so what you gotta do is put it back in the mailbox.
Yeah.
That really helps. So, I'm interested to see how it came out. I happen to be a person who thinks none of the above, but I'm not saying that in a sarcastic
Right.
way. I'm just saying, I don't see a fire truck coming out of the back of this place and making a right turn and heading for my house on a snowy night.
Oh, coming out of here wasn't an issue.
Going up the hill,
They're coming out on this side.
huh? It's still,
When we had the architectural firm that did the preliminary, we said, well, let's look at other options, and that was one of the options.
I mean, I don't know what they have for traffic pattern, but I wouldn't wanna see something back here in which people coming or going in any kind of emergency situation be using this driveway out here.
Now, that's why if you looked at when the police station was proposed back here, this parking lot and entranceway was redesigned so that the public would be coming in, let's just say to the left of an island. That's where all of the public would be, and then the entrance on the other side would be for the emergency vehicles and DPW. But if a fire station ever went, they were saying, you'd be better off to have them come out this way.
Oh, 'cause when they head for the fire station, they can be running into each other. I don't.
Who's they?
The people with their little red lights on their pickup trucks, all headed for the fire station. Somebody's gotta
I'm
drive
thinking
the
they're
truck.
right, they'd be, and that'll get planned out, but I thought the process was they would be coming in the emergency side where the public doesn't come in over there, and then get there and go out this way.
Have you thought about having one chief?
For fire and police?
That's been done in many cities.
No,
Public safety.
we're not considering that.
Oh.
That hasn't been mentioned.
Right.
I just,
All right,
see ya.
Thank you.
good night.
Okay.
I gotta check with Laurie to see if Bob is on for coming in next week.
Okay.
And I wanna make sure we keep up in front is both the engagement of the public for planning for the town and that police station. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put for next week's meeting.
Mm. Do you intend to publish the results,
Sure. We can
or at least?
post something on the website or something.
Something.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
It's gonna be kinda, I shouldn't say tough, it's,
yeah.
The first two options are easy to
Yeah, and it's a
do,
comment
but it's all the
section.
comment sections is how do you
Yeah.
compile that?
Well, that's probably a range.
Yeah. So we need to review survey results on the police facility next week. the other thing, I don't know if you've been by, but the, work at the Old Town Hall has started.
Okay,
Uh,
I wanted to talk about that a little bit because I attended the Heritage meeting, which was a non-event last week. Only their secretary, Fran Atchison
Yeah.
showed up. And she was hoping we could invite the contractor to meet us out there by chance.
No, contractors, he sent a contractor
No,
to
no,
just do the work.
to do the work, but
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if maybe somehow we can inveigle him to meet with us and kind of describe what he's doing and how he's going about it.
Well, we've already done that. We met with him out there to describe
Oh.
what it is he's
Okay,
doing and
well-
how, so we can explain to them what
All
they're
right,
doing.
that's fine.
Yeah.
Then I will just pass it on.
I did
to Fran.
stop by there yesterday, cause, I think he started yesterday or on Friday. And the interesting thing is, he's getting access under the building to do his work. And, where he was removing the stone foundation at the back of the building to
Yep.
gain access intrigued me in that. Large boulder to get out, and he had rigged this 6x6 pressure treated bent frame with a come along, and he says, yeah, he says, I'll wrap that up and I'll pull it out of there. And at least that was his plan. He says if it doesn't work, then he'd get a mini excavator in there, but
Okay.
quite the operation. And he did say what he would do for us is rather than putting the stones back in, is he's gonna frame in a access hatch so that if we ever need to get access in there.
Well, one of the things I think we need to look at, because obviously we're taking the steps to restore it, we should look at somehow finding out what the boundaries are, or the rough boundaries are, for a septic system, holding tank, whatever. Otherwise, that building will never, ever be functional.
Do you wanna look into that?
I'll take a peek at it.
We can look in the file and see if there's anything. We
See
have,
if we
I'm sure there's a
get an old
folder
deed
in
or
there for
something.
the old town hall.
Okay,
but,
I will check on that.
yeah.
But we definitely need to at least make a rough boundary determination on that. At worst, we can eyeball it with a tape measure.
And a pop level.
No, I got more sophisticated gear than that. Okay. But I think we can expect a couple members of the Heritage Commission to show up that night.
That's fine. That's why we had invited them. Which is Monday, is it? I think it's Monday.
Monday, it's 5:30. And then from there, we wander up to the old school. And the Heritage Commission did ask about, I think it was the old highway, was it the old firehouse down there?
Yeah.
They were kind of interested in that, what, if any plans have been formulated or considered for that.
No, because we haven't received the documentation from the fire brigade that the town had given it to them.
Right.
And now that they don't,
Use it, give it.
no, now that they have disbanded, they need to give us a notification, because the way it was written up was if they no longer comes back to
Okay.
the town.
Anyway, that was a question that might pop up.
But again, and I've expressed my concerns previously, is the Heritage Commission is not the historical commission.
Right.
And I'm hoping they are gearing towards the heritage portion of their tasks.
I'm not sure what they're gearing towards.
Okay.
We did
'cause-
not have a board meeting, it was just Fran and I shooting the breeze
Okay.
for a half an hour.
'Cause I'm trying to think, I think Jim, Mark Hopkins,
Yep.
Fran. who are the members of that board right now. I know Dave Clarkson was, but I don't know if he's ever been, if anybody's ever been brought up. Okay. You have anything new?
Yeah, just
Yeah.
planning board, they met last week, they elected John Shumleffel as chair, Liz Freeman as vice chair, and I resigned, and they appointed Lou Alvarez as a member in my place, and Nathan Sickler as an alternate.
Good.
And, the other thing is, Kent Brown is not this Wednesday, but following Wednesday, on the 1st of May, I believe it is, to talk about fees and to update us as to what other towns are doing. He hasn't appeared before the board in 5 years, so.
I saw the minutes where, rather than having them drive down here, they're going to do a,
They were talking about
A
it.
go-to meeting or
I don't
something?
know if he's driving down or if he's going to try to do a video conference.
yeah.
I don't know, but I know it was discussed.
Anything else?
So, that's all I have at this time.
I'd make a motion to go into a non-public session in accordance with RSA 91A3,